Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and today is the day we find out what the Academy is going to do to Will Smith. How badly will they punish him? This was supposed to happen on April 18th, but they've now pushed it up to this afternoon. We'll be going live at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to wait for the news as it comes in to talk about this and some other stuff. So make sure you don't miss it. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell for all alerts and smash that like button. Hopefully you've been watching our reporting. You'll like other stuff we're doing here. I'd love to get you part of our community here on Popcorn Planet because, look, we get some insight and we hear some stories. And yes, I can confirm, I've heard this from sources as well. The Academy is currently split on whether they will be confiscating Will Smith's Oscar on decision day. Now, this shocks me that there are so many people that want to go that far with this, because the problem with this rumor that's coming in from the Academy, granted, I'm not there, so I can't vouch for this 100%, but apparently it is just so divisive that they're having trouble that this will be a very contentious hearing, potentially, as they finally discuss and come up with the final verdict of what they plan to do with Mr. Smith. Now, taking away the Oscar is complicated, man. And if they actually do this, that will be huge, because Harvey Weinstein still has his Oscars. Roman Polanski still has his Oscars. There's a lot of people who still have Oscars. So to take it away for Will Smith for this one instance, it would set a precedent, and it would start setting a whole ball rolling down a hill. And it's like, well, whose actions are worthy of confiscating Oscars? Now, you could argue, oh, Andy, but he did it on the show. He did it on the show. And I hear you. I hear you, but this performance was before the show. The award was voted for and given to him before the show. Now, should they have removed him? Yeah. Should they have given him an award live on television? No. I think they should have, at this point that we all realize, he should have just excused himself from that situation to not make it more of a mess. The Oscars then could have decided whether they wanted to change the voting. They could have just deemed then and there. If the powers that be had actually been together, they had like 45 minutes. If they'd actually not been spaced out around the room and actually had gotten together and realized the extent of it, they could have tried to solve this. But come on, guys. No one knew the extent of this in the moment. As you watch that clip, it's unclear to so many if it's even real still. It's clearly real. But what's going to happen? So the trial's at a stalemate. Will's fate over the slap slated to be decided today. Their board is reportedly divided on whether to confiscate the actor's Best Actor award. Members, of which there are over 9,000 with hundreds of WhatsApp groups flying about, are completely split. Sources told The Sun. Now, I've heard from other sources as well. This is a very divided Academy with lots of members going, with lots of decisions, and a lot of people who are very angry at him and want to set a precedent, and others who are like, come on, enough is enough. The man's lost enough. Once we start taking Oscars, then what? Tinseltown Tribunal was originally scheduled to meet on April 18th, but moved up to today following his resignation, Will Smith, from the Academy, which, again, I do think he did to save face. He didn't have much of a choice, really, in the matter, because it's better to, resign instead of being fired. Smith won for King Richard, which I want to say he deserved. Fantastic performance. It's just sad he did this. That legacy of his is now tarnished, and that award that he wanted so badly throughout his acting career is now just going to be something he sees on his mantle that's going to bring so much pain. It's just it's a crazy irony of things. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But we all know what happened, why we got there. But the decision was made earlier this week to expedite the hearing in the wake of Will's resignation. And during that call, it was clear that the decision would go to the wire. So they're still working it out. Multiple calls with various members and specific governors over the past 10 days. The 54-member jury, which includes 24 women, remains at a 50-50 impasse over the verdict, per the watchdog. Governors themselves are also said to be in disagreement, said the source, adding that the board deemed it hypocritical to rescind Smith's statue, given that Harvey Weinstein, Roman Polanski still haven't been stripped. And honestly, factual. That's insane. The fact that they didn't do this for Harvey, who used those Oscars to get, Oscars was Harvey's thing. You can say, well, Will was on stage. Guys, Harvey made the Oscars his parties. Like, it was all about it, whining and dining and showing off the actresses that he won Oscars for in movies. he used the Academy absolutely to do some terrible things, in my opinion. Let me put my legal speculation warning up. Harvey Weinstein's so connected with the Oscars. Of all of the ones, he's the one who absolutely should have his Oscars rescinded. Roman Polanski, that's a whole nother debate. And again, if this is what we're starting to base on right and wrong, well then, yeah, shouldn't he as well? I mean, we could probably go through a list of a dozen actors who have done things. Dustin Hoffman's now under fire. What is the line when we start taking Oscars away? To me, the performance is what the performance is. It was voted by them. They won that award. You can't take that away. He won the award before it happened. Now, if voters wanted to change their minds in the voting after it happened, you could do that. But again, this was based on the performance. He won that. Taking away the Oscar to me is the absolutely insane of a move. I don't agree with that at all. Now, how long should he be removed from the Academy? Should he ever be allowed to be invited to the Oscars again? Those are questions that obviously are going to be sorted out here, and we'll see how long I suspect he's definitely going to be removed from the Oscars for a while, if not indefinitely. But as the sources even say, we all know Hollywood is a law unto itself, frankly, which is extremely truthful. They've only retracted one Oscar. Young Americans had its 1969 Best Documentary accolade retracted after the board discovered that the film had come out in 1967. So they did it because it was not the best movie of that year. It came out the following year, so therefore it couldn't win for that. That's the kind of stuff they're going to focus on. Is by the note of, is this actually qualified? Then technically, yes, Will Smith and everybody else should keep their Oscars. They should be removed from the Academy, et cetera, et cetera. You can take the Oscar away, but you can't take away Oscar winner. It's always going to be an Oscar winner, so to take the Oscar away to me, I think is silly. Now, this isn't the only thing that's been happening to Will. We're going to go through this and a lot more through our live. So again, make sure you join us later today around 12:30 once we start getting the verdict. But his talent agency, now they're denying this, and I can't confirm or deny this, but I've seen this in a lot of reputable sources. They were considered dropping him over this incident. Now, I totally believe that. They haven't yet. They've come out and they've supported him, and I think that is a wise move. I think given what happened, let this one settle for a while. Let's see where it lands. To remove themselves from him right away, I think would have been a bad move on the agency's part, because I think a lot of other actors would have been like, what if I had a quick spur-of-the-moment breakdown? You're just going to completely, throw me out to the wolves? I think there's a lot of reasons why they needed to stand by Will. He's a huge star. I think he will be again. I think he's still going to be bankable at some point, because we all know who he is, and Hollywood and the world love redemption stories. So while it's hard for him right now, I think he can get his way back. It's just going to take some time, some people forgetting. They're always going to use it against him, but I think he has an opportunity. So to hear that the talent agency did not drop him is a huge win for Will Smith, because it could be way worse if they did. Look, we'll talk about some other updates and things, but publicists are still shuddering based on all of this and how it went down. And I totally believe this as well. This is what you do not want your clients to have to go through. This is a nightmare, PR nightmare. And the truth is, I think his publicists did a terrible job. But honestly, it may not be their fault, because it might have been Will's ego and anger still in the moment, not allowing the publicist to really help navigate him in the way he should have been. His manager, whoever was there, that person talking to everybody at the Oscars, should have demanded that he apologize to Chris on that stage. You have to go up there and apologize. I understand we're all trying to figure it out, but the only person who would really know what was going on was his team. They knew what was happening because they had access to Will, and they could have asked him, what just happened? Did you really just do that to him? Why? Will, you got to apologize. We can address this later. That looks awful. It's all over the internet now. We've been watching. Everyone's like, is that real? It's becoming the trending topic. You have to apologize to Chris Rock. The fact that his team either didn't do it or Will ignored it, to me, that is what ultimately brought Will Smith down. I really think we could have gotten over the incident. I think Chris Rock could have gotten over the incident. Everybody could have gotten over it if Will had taken accountability right then and there. But the reality is he didn't. He chose to thank everybody but Chris Rock. And that is really when the story went from what to what? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's really, and then we started, well, why would he have done that? What's the history? What's with Jada? We all then started, why wasn't he apologizing? We still would have done it, but I really think had he apologized to Chris profusely and sincerely in that speech, we would be looking at things a lot more differently. So we will see today around 12:30. Make sure you join us. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Like I told you, last warning here, hit the bell for all alerts. You can also just click it up there on the left. It'll actually be there on the left under subscribe. Or you can check out these videos. In fact, I'll put the live there on the left. At some point, it'll be there, that video on the left. Click it. Join us. Let's keep this conversation going. Thanks for watching, guys.